Good afternoon. I would like to present the teacher induction and new teacher mentoring plan that myself and my partners in this assignment developed. Thanks to Zachary Wallace, Josh Wallace, Zach Gillen, and Laura Root, we worked together to implement a plan for the new teacher induction program. Our plan for new teachers and a mentoring program would include the following. We want to help familiarize new employees with district policies. We want to analyze and reflect on the performance and the coaching strategies that we use. We want to support and develop knowledge and teaching skills of the new teachers. And always have a plan, a person to go to for when new teachers face challenges. We want to be able to assist them and have a go-to person to help them with those challenges. And most of all, we want to cultivate a professional attitude toward teaching and learning. Recently, we know that statistics show that many teachers leave the teaching profession after just maybe their first year of teaching. And my partners and I discussed that they needed more support. The new teachers need more support in order to feel comfortable and not so overwhelmed in their new positions. I remember my first year of teaching, it was probably the hardest year of teaching, so we want to avoid that kind of stress and just cultivate good teaching professionals. Our plan would include the following. Basically a framework for teaching. We want to give the new teachers all the tools that they need to feel comfortable in their new position and to plan for effective teaching strategies throughout the school year. The framework for teaching that we would provide with our new inductees is, of course, the district calendar, explaining salary and benefits and what that first check is going to look like. And of course, most importantly, the Educators Code of Ethics for Alabama. What are the expectations as a professional? Policies and procedures of our district, the courses of study and curriculum. These are so important to be sure that we're just not opening a book and teaching from it, but that we are covering all the standards that are appropriate for our content area or grade level. Of course, the ASOP system, which is the attendance system that our system uses to help find subs and to also record absences when you have to be away from your job. Privacy of HIPAA and FERPA and the implications of what that can mean if those things are violated. Also, we want to give them support with the technology that they're going to be using, iNow and email. And of course, what are the expectations for lesson plans? What should they include? How do we submit those? Who do we report to? And of course, most of all, the grading procedures. So this is the framework for teaching for our orientation program. Each one of our new teachers will be provided with a packet that includes these things. These are the things that are most important when you need to know what to do. It's kind of an operations manual for your position. Some of those things include professional development forms, a new inductee handbook that's going to kind of give you some direction when you have questions. Of course, professional development plan, the district calendar, your course of study, the school closing procedure, the district policies that address several of the things that you might encounter when you're new on a job. The business office forms and just how to navigate the paperwork of school. Of course, iNow and email passwords to be sure that the new inductee has everything they need to navigate the school day. I know when I began teaching, it was kind of like alphabet soup. I heard people throwing around acronyms and I had no idea what they were talking about. So our plan includes familiarization with key concepts. Of course, technology in the classroom, what are the expectations there? And not only how to use technology in the classroom, but also how to be responsible. What are the expectations for me as the teacher, and what are my expectations for the students? How can we use technology effectively and still consider the legalities and the ethical nature of technology? Of course, our students in high school, our high school teachers, it's important to understand about career and technical education. In recent years, we have learned that college is not the only pathway after graduation. For many of our students, their most appropriate career path is going to be career and technical education. And it's important to know all of these options for students, from automotive technology to precision machining. As an administrator now, I understand how important these key concepts are to be familiar with. So many of our students fall into a subgroup of special education or English language learners, and it is so important to understand the federal law that governs these students' education. It is very important that new teachers understand free appropriate public education, or FAPE, which is available to all disabled students. And it's even more important to understand the IEP team, or the individual education plan, which dictates how students with disabilities will receive their education. It's important to understand their eligibility, the importance of the individual education plan, and how we must be compliant with that as educators. Also, for English language learners, it's important to know too that their education is going to look a little bit different. It is going to be also governed by a plan that is specific to them and their needs. Additionally, pre-K programs. In our district, we have added several pre-K programs within the school where I am an administrator. We have an OSR pre-K, or Office of School Readiness pre-K. We also have a special education pre-K. And it's important that the teachers in our school, and of course the teachers that are associated with these programs, understand their differences and understand the expectations for the teachers in each of those classrooms. For older students, the adolescent literacy program is also very important for a new teacher to understand. They need to know that we need to address student motivation to read and write. It's not only important at the lower elementary level, but also for older elementary and middle school students. Research-based literacy strategies for teaching and learning should also be included for adolescents, not just K through 3. In every grade level, we should teach writing and reading across the curriculum, not just within the reading content area. Also, we should offer support through organizational structures and leadership in everything that we do within the school. We also felt that it's very important to have a guide for the year for our new inductees. And this is what our program would look like from August until May. From the beginning of the year with district building orientation standard sessions, all the way to the very last thing, the evaluation of our teacher induction program. And if you will, just take a look at these things. We have tried to include a step-by-step approach and a very supportive scaffolding structure to help our new teachers. Throughout the year, in a constant effort to evaluate our program, these are the forms that we believe should be completed throughout the year. First of all, we want to make sure for the new teacher inductees that we meet their needs. So we begin with a needs assessment to try to get an idea of if our plan is going to be effective for them, and to offer things that will be most meaningful for them and to support them. There'll be a monthly teacher induction report, an evaluation program at the end, so that we are constantly monitoring the level of support that we're offering and whether it is adequate to support the needs of our new teachers. At the end, of course, there is an evaluation of the program to determine how effective we were and did we, in fact, meet the needs according to the needs assessment. For the mentor, who is responsible for the support of our new teacher inductees, it includes a checklist of induction discussions, an induction completion document, so that these documents will also help guide the mentor to be sure that we are offering, the mentor is offering the support that the teacher inductee needs. And most importantly, at the end of each year, we want to evaluate what we've done to determine its effectiveness. Did this program provide the support that you needed, you being the teacher that will be answering these questions? Did we provide the support needed to make the transition to our school district? And we want explanation. We want to know where we met the mark and where we did not. Also, we want suggestions. How can we make it better? What changes would make it better? And to what extent were the following objectives met by the program? These are going to be our guide and are going to help us know how effectively we met the goals that we intended to with the mentoring program. Of course, there are 4 of them. The improvement of teaching skills, and we ask that they rate 1 excellent, 2 good, or 3 fair. Improvement of teaching skills, adjustment to district and building standards and methods of operation, adjustment to student needs, assessment of professional development. So we want to be sure that our program is addressing the most important elements of supporting a teacher within their first year of teaching. Thank you very much. We hope that this plan will be effective and supportive to our new teacher inductees. Thank you.